The story begins with a group of wards in Baron Orald's fief. They're fidgeting over the coming-of-age ceremony, where they will each be sized up by the headmasters of many different crafts, and possibly picked to become an apprentice. One boy, muscular and arrogant, was boasting about how he will be able to get into battle school, and eventually become a knight. Another boy, with a small, bowl-cut head, was bickering with an attractive, slightly pudgy girl about his dream to become a scribe. The girl, a chef. The main character, Will, is being hassled by the muscular boy, Horace, about his size. This is information on the setting, by the way. Will, alternating between the two horses Tug and Blaze every 2 hours, manages to ride throughout the day and late into the night. At the estate, Baron Orald was discussing politics with his friend and compatriot, Battlemaster Rodney, the trainer of the Knights of the Fife. Halt, alone, was wrapping his wounded knee, keeping to the shadows of the ruin and skulking as best as possible to avoid detection from the Calcara. Everything was on Will's shoulders. He knew. They needed help, and time was running out. This was a snippet of the story. This next part is a conflict. Will, chosen to be a ranger, embarks with his mentor, the grim-faced man known as Halt, and his previous apprentice, Gilon, a master swordsman, to track down the Calcara, a humanoid bear-like group of beasts. After a point, they realize where the Calcara are headed, and send Gilon back to provide information on this news. Later, they realize that they're outmatched, that there are only 2 of the Calcara. One could require at least 10 knights to take down. Halt sends Will back to send help for more help, to get Baron Orald and Battlemaster Rodney. As Will is riding, Will realizes that Calcara were hunting for Halt, and that they were actually luring him into his lair, and by going for help they left him alone. The last bit is a summary of the story. So, in summary, the story revolves, I guess, around Will, a kid living as a ward in Baron Orald's fief to begin with. Always wanted to be a warrior, he doesn't get picked to be one, but as a ranger, a legendary figure in the country of Araluan, handed to the Baron a note when Will winds up not being picked for any apprenticeships. Wanting to know what the note contained, Will sneaks into the tower and finds the note, and winds up learning that he was picked to become a ranger. He moves in and trains with the grim-faced ranger, eventually dealing with a major threat in the country, the Calcara. My word count was 433. Thank you for listening.